is good that someone famous who had an experience in their life regarding Jehovah's Witnesses and bad experience of being sexually abused brings it out into the public domain so that people can see the truth about Jehovah's Witnesses.
Good morning, thanks for having me.
This is a remarkable story, one which I expect many people did not know about. You have talked about your experience growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, including the experience of knocking on doors, being frightened that schoolmates might be the ones who answered. But you have
The life of being brought up as a Jehovah's Witness sometimes can be hard. People can be bullied at school because of not celebrating Christmas and birthdays and not being involved with school kids. It tends to make people bully and not understand Jehovah's Witnesses. So I imagine there are many that are being bullied at school for their beliefs.
very painful story to tell, don't you, in this documentary tonight?
Yeah, I do, and I think I realised that I've probably only just scratched the surface. You know, I think my story isn't unique, and there's going to be plenty of others, as have already come out, that will continue to come out. And, you know, I found this part of my life a bit...
People, the public, need to see what it is that the Jehovah's Witnesses are really like. They show that they are nice and caring people, which they are, but it's the watchtower, and how many more people, how many more lives of many people that have come out of religions, including Jehovah's Witnesses, that have been sexually abused and have not said anything. It must be hard to actually tell the truth about this organisation. But now the public is hearing it from someone who's famous, and hopefully it will open their eyes.
An obstacle, but I wanted to use this obstacle to create an opportunity to help other people that have been in, you know, similar situations, and yeah, just.
And that's what it's done. It has helped other people to be able to speak about their experiences of coming out of this cult.
Just hopefully, you know, show that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
When you were 12 years old, Rebekah, and I know that this is something you're now speaking out about openly, so I don't want to be insensitive talking about it, but it's at the heart of your documentary this evening. You suffered sexual abuse. Mm-hmm. Now, the person who was responsible was not a Jehovah's Witness, but you feel like you were not able to speak out about it in a way where it was taken seriously or pursued. Why do you think that was?
Jehovah's Witnesses, the most important thing to them is what the elders and the Bethel say regarding child abuse. And so, with a brainwashed fashion, people don't believe it, and also want to make sure that the organisation stays clean, which is how a cult functions.
I mean, this is something I have spoken about, maybe slightly scratched the surface, but I feel like it was because I was manipulated. It was the shame, the fear of being, you know, bringing shame onto my family. I was controlled, and ultimately I was scared of what the consequences of speaking out would actually do.
Speaking out, having to go to the elders interrogating, not believing because there's no witnesses because of the 2-witness rule, meaning that there needs to be 2 witnesses. How does someone recover from this in their lives. And this is rampant in the Jehovah Witnesses, but nobody wants to open up the door to this.
And you must have felt very isolated, because you tried to talk to your mum, and that didn't work. There were at school or other family members. Was there anybody you felt you could reach out to, or did you feel you were handling this on your own?
Honestly, I felt like I was dealing with this myself. I felt like I've dealt with this myself literally my whole entire life. And speaking to some of the other amazing contributors during this documentary has helped me understand that, you know, I'm not the only one that this sort of thing has happened.
So Jehovah Witnesses, this is not apostate lies. This is the truth, that Rebekah Vardy was abused, and if she'd have told anybody, they wouldn't have believed her anyway.
So there's so many other people, and some of the contributors that you'll see in this documentary have been absolutely incredibly brave to come out and talk quite in detail about their harrowing experiences as well.
You described the psychological harm that was done to you as extensive. You made a suicide attempt at the age of 14.
Yeah.
You had a family row in the wake of what happened and the way that it was handled. You ended up homeless. I mean, how are you dealing now with the long-term effects?
Doesn't it show how evil the Watchtower is in wanting to shun people and make people's lives a misery so that they'll stay faithful to this evil organisation? Many people have committed suicide. She tried to commit suicide, and this just shows what it's like to be in the Jehovah Witnesses. And I just hope that those who have been abused by the Watchtower will come forward and report it to the police and get help, counselling and support, and that these people will be prosecuted for these things that they've done.